Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever it is, time of the world, time it is in your part of the world. Welcome to THFC Till I Die, the home of Tottenham past, present, and the future starts on Sunday against Brentford. So we had a interesting game against Barcelona last night in which the team acquitted themselves pretty well, I think, until maybe the last 10 or 15 minutes when the heat and everything else got the better of them, and Barcelona got a win, which I think was a bit disappointing given the fact that we led at half time, led for a lot of the game, in fact. But these things happen, and it was a good grounding for some of the lads, and some of the players acquitted themselves very well, some of them not quite so, and we'll get around to discussing that very much in a couple of minutes. So just before Dermotron joins, we'll just run through and see who's in the chat at the moment. Just bear with me. And we're going to start with HodGod10. I got a contributor. Hiya, HodGod, how's it going? I'll get your details from Dermot about your Dublin trip. I haven't forgotten about you. You're saying good afternoon, panel and chat. And Gary Bex is saying afternoon, Hod, panel and chat. Afternoon, Gary. And HodGod saying back at you. And Column FTSN, Column, afternoon all. How are you, Column? How's it going? And Mia in the chat. I can show it here. Sorry, this again. I have to apologize. My computer does not like the chat. It just doesn't seem to stay in sync with everybody else's thing. But anyway, Mia, hello one and all. Please smash that like button. Yeah, please do. I mean, there's over 30 of you watching at the minute, and there's not that many likes yet. So hit that like button. And Mia is saying hello to HodGod and to Gary Bex. And HodGod is saying, superb football last night, intelligent passing and movement. Imagine how we would play with a decent defence in the season under Ange. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get carried away. I don't think any of us do. But I think what we've seen in the past 2 or 3 matches, especially when I saw what I saw against Shakhtar Donetsk on Sunday, there's a hell of a team in there if they'll listen to Ange and do what he says. Okay, I know those mistakes made last night, and it was the usual suspects that made the mistakes. But I mean, can you look back 3 months ago at the football Tottenham were playing? It's chalk and cheese to what we're presenting at the minute. I don't think anybody could believe there'd be such a sea change in the way the Spurs are playing in such a short length of time under Ange. He's only there a month. And look what he's done. You know, I think it's incredible. So long may it continue.
How are you, Philip? Can you hear me?
Oh, geez, you sound like you're on your way home from Bal. There, where are you?
I'm actually on my way home from Gory. I just dropped the young lad home, so this is THFC Till I Die on the road.
Well, anyway, I keep reading the comments here.
Can I just say something? I just want to say something. I want to do an Eric Dier. I've got this. That last night, if you haven't seen it, Philip, right? It's the funniest bit of football I've seen all season. I've seen all pre-season. Him telling
funny or tragic. Funny or tragic?
Oh, tragic. When he's told Lo Celso and the other people tapped his chest and put his arm out saying, I've got this. I mean, what a twit. Honestly, it was so funny. And then he mucked up the free
kick. Has the ball
kick.
landed yet? Has the ball come back into the atmosphere yet?
No, yeah. Last I heard, NASA said it went past. It was going past Jupiter, heading to Mercury.
Right, okay,
That's the last we've seen of it.
Fair enough. That's all right. Yeah, I know. Actually, I have to make a confession. I was working last night, so I've only seen highlights of the game, but I've read all the reports of it, and I did hear about that. All right, you know.
You weren't working last night, Philip. You were shoving around your medallion last night like Tom Jones.
Right. I'm not going to comment on that. If you seen my T-shirt when I finished last night, you could have had a bath in it. It was one of those hot, sweaty nights, you know. And don't get any bad ideas now about that either.
That sounds like an Eagles song.
Yeah, true. Yeah, one of these nights. Yeah. Anyway, right. Well, listen. Shall I continue with the comments while you're?
Yeah, you do. I continue driving. You do the comments. That's a good combo.
Oh, don't crash into anything now on the way home, will you?
No, I won't. No, you might get a fiery end. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Can you come and send a pickup truck to such and such an address? Anyway, here we go. I'll see you in a few minutes when you're home. Anyway, all right.
Yeah, I'll see you in a few. I'm going to stay in, but I'll stay until I'm home. But I listen.
Yeah, right. Okay. Right, and me again, Colin. Well, I guess I'd better say hello to you. Oh, do I detect a bit of a tiff going on there? Yes, I'll have to wait and see. I have to get to the bottom of that one. And Hot God 10. Hi, Mia. How are you today, my fellow Bexley Heathian? Oh, there you are now. We're giving away our locations now. Very good, very good. And FDN back to Colin is back. Hi, Mia. And me again, not bad. Hot God 10. Nice and sunny here. How about yourself? I don't know about you, but it's not sunny here, but it's like the humidity is unbelievable. Open the door. It's like opening the door of an oven. It's really, really warm, but there's no sunshine. Now, Mia, Colin, I don't mean it. You're all right for a Man United supporter of TBF. Well, I'll tell you, I've got a friend of mine downstairs visiting for a couple of days. He's a Chelsea fan. We're going to have some interesting conversations tonight, I'll tell you. You know. Anyway.
They're getting done.
Yeah. He said to me earlier, "What about Pochettino?" And I said, "Who?" I think he was so impressed. Anyway, Hot God 10, very good, thanks. Just finished working from home. Quiet night here, thank God. Well, there you go. Nice quiet night. Doesn't do anybody any harm, especially in the middle of the week. And I tell you, the chat is bouncing today, lads. There we go. Again. And Niall Kane, no relation, saying good evening, gang. Good evening, Niall. Did you have a word with your brother yet? Gary Beck saying, talk to Davis and Sanchez last night. Yeah, I believe what I've heard, he'd actually played quite well. You know, it shows me there is a game in everybody, with some exceptions who we all know who that is. But yeah, well, fair. Although I still think he's going out on loan. I heard earlier there that Joe Rogan's on his way to Leeds on loan for the season, so that's maybe one of the centre backs.
That's been completed, Philip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've been told that's been completed.
Well, that's one down, 2 or 3 to go. Yeah. It's not too bad. Mia, it's I'll have a word with you later, dear. Right. And Dragon D's not saying good day all. Good day to you as well.
Good day.
Good day. I can't do it like Dermot does. You know, good day. Yeah. And Daniel Lee's saying good positives to take from yesterday. Just the defense imploding as usual is the only real negative I take from it, and maybe Richie as well. Yeah, Richie wasn't really at the race. Like, I don't think you would have got any money on a bet for Oliver Skip to score twice. You know. And okay, he took the header very well. The other goal was a nice bit of opportunism as well. But yeah, Richie's not really. Richie needs to step up now. I mean, okay, he may have to step up if Harry Kane leaves, and big time. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Dermot, I'm sure, will fill us in on the latest on that whenever he gets in. And Drula said, how's I, Drula? Hello, Philip and Dermot, and all in the chat. And Wayne Bonner has arrived. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well. I'm pumped for the game on Sunday. Basuma is the boss. 15-0 to Spurs. Oh, only 15? Oh, God. You're a bit of a pessimist then, Wayne, aren't you? Yeah, Basuma showed what he can do. I think we're really going to see the real Basuma this season. We haven't seen it yet, and we're about to, which would be a great bit of thing to see. And me again, Dragon D's nuts. How are you? And hey, Drula. And Carl Simpson is in the house. Carl, it was great to see Carl on the debate show last Saturday night, putting their name on a face to the name and all the chat. And I'll leave it to your usual routine today, Carl, to see can you put in a certain couple of words that Dermot might trip over on. You know what I'm talking about. And he's saying, hello, Philip, hope you're well. Oh, shit, I forgot you were there. Yes, I do mean that. Absolutely. And I remember the one thing, afternoon, Philip. How do you like Dier as a new club captain? Good in his
drink.
Oh, huh?
Right, no, don't go in the pub, Dermot. Go home. Don't go in the pub.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe for last night he was the captain. I don't see it happening. Nothing would surprise me, but I really can't see that happening. Well, I can just imagine the rumbling, it'd be like an earthquake if it does happen around here. Everyone venting their feelings about it. No, it can't be. And me again, Wayne Bonner, how are you? There's Mia saying hello to Wayne. And Drula. We're all good. These are all greeting each other. And Tony Fitzjonathan, come on, you Spurs. Exactly. That's what we're all here for. And Column's working out where you are, Dermot. He reckons you're in a submarine. I reckon you are. No, I think you've gone to Rosslare and you're in a submarine going across to England to kidnap Eric Dier.
Oh no, he's already been kidnapped. That's been done. Mia's using a particular set of skills, as she told me yesterday, to kidnap Eric Dier and to keep Romero company in a dungeon. Now Column's there as well. Right. But look, 3 men in a dungeon with Mia. Who knows what might get up to? But we would like to know what Mia's particular set of skills are. She won't tell me.
Well, I'll tell you. This reminds me. Well, go on, you're home, are you? Well, just before you get out of the car there.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Well, Mia and the dungeon reminds me of anyone remember Monty Python's Flying Circus? So back in the 70s with John Cleese and Michael Palin. There's a sketch in it where the milkman knocks on the door of his house in suburban London, and this bird comes down, answers the door, dressed in a negligee and all this sort of stuff, and she gives him the come on up the stairs, you know. And he goes up into the stairs. And she goes into that bedroom there, and he goes into the bedroom, and there's 5 other milkmen being held hostage in there. So I was thinking Mia when I think of that sketch, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, I'm going to come out, Philip. I'll be in 2 minutes on the main PC, and then I'll be back. We'll be back to normal. All right. See you in a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Mia, is that what he calls his medallion? I'm going to comment on that one. Gary Beck-Dyer was the only player that did not advance in arguing for a starting place. Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, we've 30-odd players in the first team squad at the minute, and only 11 of them can start on Sunday. So there's competition for places. He did not do himself any favours. Absolutely not. And Gary Beck's in the Basuma, Lo Celso, Skip, Sarmat, Madison, Bentancur, and Højbjerg. Some good trio combinations in that. I'll tell you, Ange just got a selection headache on his hands for the midfield on Sunday. He really has. Because over both games, all those guys have put up their hands. Say, I'm good to start. Now, I think we can probably take it that Madison and probably Basuma will definitely start. Now, who else goes after that? I don't know. It'll be an interesting selection problem for Ange. And Mia is saying, no, that's definitely me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should look up that sketch, Mia. It's very, very funny. It's very, very funny. And Caption Grandma, that's a new name. That's a great name. Caption Grandma. That's brilliant. Last night's game was a moral victory, conceding 3 late goals due to many players being exhausted because they're not fully match fit. Plus the fact it was 27 degrees or thereabouts in Barcelona last night, you know. And Ange did not really overdo the substitutions as well. So, I mean, there's every reason to be disappointed in the end result, but every reason to be happy with the performance generally up to that. Most players can be, apart from the usual suspects we keep mentioning. And Andrew Gregory saying, afternoon, Philip and Dermot, love Python. Brilliant. I'm a Monty Python nut, have been since it came out. I rewatch them all the time. They're absolutely brilliant. I think being a Monty Python fan and being a Spurs fan kind of go hand in hand. They're both a bit crazy at times, you know. And I think that's all the comments we've got so far. Now, just to run down a few things that's happened in the last 24 hours. Don't mind that one. That will be gone out of the way in a minute. Now, this is probably the most obvious question of the season. Is Dier the weak link? Well, again, having not had the opportunity to see the whole match last night, I can't really comment. But from what I've seen of the game and what I've heard from the comments and what he was at fault for maybe 2 of the goals, maybe not, I don't know, maybe it was more. He certainly is the weak link. And just put your comments in the chat there, what you think of Eric Dier. And, you know, should he be shipped out or should he be kept on as a squad player, as a backup for this season? But because I honestly can't see many clubs coming in for him, you know. But let us know what you think in the chat. Oh, he's here. You got out of your submarine, did you?
Yeah, I'm at my submarine in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as you can see.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
I've got my green screen up, so I'm debuting it today. Yeah,
I think me thinking you've gone to the stadium. That's what kept you.
Yeah. No, I've had a bit of an upgrade on my PC, and I've got another bit tomorrow. But I've fixed the one problem. I've now got my dual screen sorted out. Now I've just got to fix out the other problem, which apparently, Philip, is Windows 11. That's why my PC keeps freezing and all that. So I have to downgrade it to Windows 10 for it to work properly. So
okay, I don't use Windows. I use a Mac. So I've forgotten what variant of Windows is in use at the moment.
Yeah. Where are we in the chat
anyway,
now?
I'll let you take over the chat there now, Dermot.
Yeah. Whereabouts are we, Philip?
We've just got to Mia locking the milkman in the bedroom.
Okay, I'll find that now.
Andrew Gregory is no, it's from me. This one here.
Okay. Big up Gary Baker says, can you see Madders and Gio with Basuma in the 6 many times last night? Gio was more withdrawn than Skippy, who was more progressive. Look, I saw the game last night, Philip, and look, for me, Gio was very disappointed. I didn't feel he played well. Skippy, I thought, had a great game. I really did. Yeah. I thought Skippy played well. Look, it's a pre-season game. We should have saw the game out. We really should. But again, our defensive faults are so shown. It shows Eric Dier is not a defender. I am sorry. He is as useless as sending Kermit the Frog to go and see Putin. Could he stop the war in Ukraine? That's how useless that would be. That's how useless Eric Dier is. But yeah, I can see.
Take the point down that none of the back four last night will probably start on Sunday.
Probably not. No. But the problem is what worries.
There's a bit of positivity there. I don't think the back four on Sunday. Okay, they had a couple of moments against Shakhtar, but they were generally fairly tight. And I don't think. Okay, Porro's the only one that kind of. I don't. Porro, for me, is behind Royale at the minute for the right back position. And I didn't think I'd be saying that a couple of months back.
No. Let me put that there. And look, everyone, please do hit the like button. There's 39 if you're watching. I've only got 17 likes. Come on, hit that like button. Hit that up there. Actually, look, what have you seen the game at all, Philip? Or
I've seen highlights of it, and I've read all the reports. I haven't had. I'm only home an hour ago. I haven't really seen all the. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I will look at it tonight now, but I haven't seen it yet.
Kane to Bayern is not going away. I saw earlier United are interested in Pavard. If Bayern get 30 or 40 million, that could put them over the line for Kane. Look,
they're also looking at Tapsoba as well. United apparently.
Yeah, well, Man United are. Yeah, that's in one of the news I've got to the latest I've got today. Hello, I'm here. Hello. I've got here. So let me get that slide up for you, Philip. For the latest news. Where is it now? I think it was that one. I think that was the latest. I think. Yeah, it's been one of those days today. No, I haven't got it there. It's been one of those days today, Philip, where I think you and me have both been very busy, and it was just really just been one of those days. Kane, can you see it happening, Philip, or do you think we're at the end of it now? Because I'm just so sick
I don't know. I mean, I think it has to happen by Friday. If it doesn't happen by Friday, then he's staying. And it seems to me there's been a bit of a mind change in the Kane household over this thing over the last few days. And maybe it was the reaction of the crowd on Sunday. Maybe we saw how good we can actually be when we put our minds to it. I don't know, Dermot. There's been that many permutations of this transfer that I'm not going to add to it. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I don't think anyone else can do anymore.
Look, for me, Philip, look, if he stays, all great. And if he goes, he goes. There's not a lot. I mean, were you and me? Well, I know I've got an awful lot of stick by certain people from this. But look, some of it's banter. Some of it's been over the top, especially on Twitter. But look, it's still, what has to come out with somebody, Philip. Kane has to come out with somebody. Or Tottenham have to come out with somebody. This is not happening this window. Or Kane says, right, I'm going to sign a new contract or a year's extension. Put it to bed once and for all. Look, there is a new big...
out of Kane so far is that he's going to say if he's not gone by this weekend, he's staying. That's as much as we've got, and we don't know how that actually came from either. It may have come from him. I don't know. I was of the opinion on Sunday when he did the walk around that was it. To be honest with you, but things have changed since then. Then.
Yeah, I still think I still think he will. If anything does happen, I still think it will be I still think he will go. But look, if you buy within a £95 million bid up front and then the rest with add-ons, would Daniel Levy accept that, do you think?
If they put 95 million quid into the Tottenham Hotspur FC bank account between now and next Friday, Levy will accept it. However, if they make out to this 95 million quid plus the add-ons whenever they arrive, it's going to be paid over 3 or 4 years, I think Levy will tell them to do one. It's up to the amount of money that we can get up front on this one. Now, I'm like you, Dermot. I still think he's going to go. I'm reluctantly say that. I want him to stay. But I think what's going to happen here, we're going to be sitting here at 10 o'clock on Friday night thinking he's not going. And suddenly, bang, Bayern Munich at the very, very last minute are going to put in a bid that's acceptable to Daniel Levy, the terms of which are acceptable, and he'll be gone. I think that's what's going to happen. I hope to God I'm wrong, but I think that's the way it's going to go. They're not going to give up that easy. Are you frozen, Dermot? Hello? Yeah, Dermot's gone frozen there. Anyway, I'll carry on with a few of these comments while he gets his back together again. And Jazz Fusion is saying the missing link. Yeah, whatever that is. And Ed M's and who'd want him. Well, I'm sure there's some teams, some lower league, Premier League teams would want him. You know, I mean, he's an England international a couple of years ago. Bear that in mind, you know. And Carl Simpson said, I don't hate Dier, but nowhere near what we need now. Time to go. Like, I mean, what we've done now, we've upgraded with Mickey van der Ven. I watched the videos of that guy. That guy's got pace. He's like a road runner. He'd be an ideal player in a high line. He'd be able to get back and retrieve the balls over the top. So, and we get another one like him, and we'll be well sorted. And Gary Beck saying he was at fault for the first and third goals, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I'll take your word for that, Gary. I know he was at fault for some of them, all right. And Dragon D's not to saying it'll be okay. Dyer's yeah. I think he's gonna find it hard to live that one down, actually. And Wayne Bonner saying Dyer nearly cost us a second goal at 1-0, and yes, he should be shipped out on the Titanic. Yeah, that's fair enough. Not many icebergs in July though, or August. That's the only problem. Andrew Gregory saying it's an insult to see Dyer wearing the captain's armband. Well, I suppose he was the most senior player on view last night, so that's probably why they gave it to him. Maybe it's a parting shot. Maybe you won't be with us much longer. We'll give you this to make you feel a bit better, you know. And Captain Grandma again. Caption Grandma. That's a great name. Dermot, Caption Grandma. That's a brilliant name. Apparently, Dyer wants to stay at Spurs to fight for his place. Where was the fight last night? Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know, he may well still be with us at the end of the transfer window, lads. Don't get your hopes up that he'd be going because we'd want him.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry today. I'm just running a new system and there is a few teeth and problems. So what I've done, I've gone into Chrome on this one, Philip, on my main feed, and then I've gone into Google on the other one. So it's two separate different operating things, if you know what I mean. So I do apologize about that. I'm very, very sorry. I don't know if the green screen had something to do with that as well, so I've taken it off. So
yeah, well, green screen can slow things down a bit, all right. And Carl Simpson saying Dyer has been spotted begging Ange that he can play up front after realising he's getting nowhere near the back. No, Dyer up front. Yeah, I see that. Right.
Well, look for me, Philip. Look, it's Dyer for me is a product of our failure of defenders. He's the lead. He's the captain of it. Him being captain last night was an insult to all previous Spurs captains. I am sorry. I just don't agree with him being captain. You could have picked
I think you're a bit strong there, Dermot. He was the most senior player on the pitch. You know,
what senior player?
I'm not defending him, but I'm just saying Ange Postecoglou has given Eric to prove themselves. Now, he hasn't seen Eric Dier play before yesterday.
Yeah.
Eric Dier could have gone out yesterday and played the match of his life. Right? The fact that he was given the captain's armband before he made the balls of things is entirely coincidental, if you like. So okay, if there's anybody else as a candidate for captain, he should have been given to him. But he's a longer-serving player that was on the pitch, and he hasn't seen him play before, so that's why he gave it to him. You know, it'll never happen again. You can be sure of that.
I don't agree with that. Now, Philip, Colin saying 110 million euro bid, is that for Kane?
It's hardly for Eric Dier. It's hardly very
No, I don't know. I've come in, so I don't know if Colin's
no, I don't know. I haven't
seen
that before. I haven't seen that before. That's the first time I've seen it. 110
yeah,
million euro, but that's about 90. That's 95 million sterling. It's
100. It's 103.666.998 English pounds.
110? No, it's less than that.
103. I said.
Yeah, still less than that. There's more than 7p in the difference in the pound.
Yeah, but
I'll work it out here now.
Now, Gary Beck says that's 110 million euros, which is 103.668.998 English pounds.
I'll tell you now what it is. Hold on, because I know I work with currency all the time, and I'll just put in
110 million euro.
Well, let's see. I'll put in. Oh God, hang on. I'll put in 115. I'll put in 115 million.
No, it has to be 110, Philip. To get it spot
I have to
on.
work this. No, hang on a minute. Because what I've got here is one that's telling me it's going from euro to sterling. Hold on. Keep talking there. I'll get this now in a second. Hold on. Okay, here we are. GBP to UER. Right. Yeah. Okay.
It actually is 94.
90. What are we talking about? 94 what?
It's got up here 94.913 English pounds.
94.
Oh, Gary said it was his mistake. He put in 125 million.
Yeah, that's. I'm telling you. Yeah, 94,913 is 110 million euros.
Yeah.
Right.
If that was 95 million up front, Philip, would you accept that?
If it's 95 million in one transaction, yes. But if it's 20 million now and 20 million next year and 30 million the year after, no. I think it's good. Bayern have got to put the money where their mouth is here, you know?
Yeah. Look, to be honest with you, as you well know, Mr. Harris, look, he thinks Kane's not going. He thinks he'd be there. He's already asking for apologies to be sent. He's doing apologies PDF sent out to people to send back to apologize.
You see, 2 chances of that ever happening. But I mean, we all want Harry to stay, but realistically, if the right bid comes in, he won't be staying. He'd be gone.
SOF says Ange conceded the win in the game when he bought on Spence, Devine, and Scarlett. We weren't dangerous going forward at that point. Look, for me, for 70% of the game, Philip, we were very, very good.
I know.
We outplayed Barcelona, to be fair.
And that was their first team as well. That was Barcelona mostly their first team.
And it was the defensive faults of Eric Dier. I mean, he was at fault for the first and third goal. The second goal, you could probably blame Porro for. But, you know, I thought Venom had a very good game. Venom put some wonderful
He made one great save there that I saw when he came on, he headed the ball clear and then got back to save the rebound. That was a great save. Yeah, but like, I think you got to remember, for a lot of those players last night, that was their first real outing of the season. And playing in that heat, you know, it was bound to be more sapping. We probably should have had another match thrown in last week. Another pre-season friendly, but that didn't work out. We missed a game because of the Thailand thing. So there should have been another game arranged for last week. That's the only fault I'd have there. But I think, you know, if we get over if we look on the 70% positive side of the game rather than the 30% negative.
Yeah,
I think not many teams will go to Barcelona and do what we did to them last night.
Look, there is a lot of positive to take out of it, Philip. And it was last night. I did the watch along on Dave's channel. Me, myself, Jack, and Jacob. I mean, Jack sort of said it, I think hit the nail on the head. We could feel very optimistic in what we saw, but there was that bit of sour taste in your mouth that we didn't see out the game. I know it's a preseason game. I know. And the Eric Dier thing when he went, no, lads, just leave it to me. Leave it to me. Yeah. I've got this. I have got this. And then what an idiot, seriously. And you can see him saying it. It went up close to him. And you could see him saying it. I've got this.
Yeah.
It's the most funniest bit of preseason. I think it was blooming hilarious. Destiny Woodoo.
Destiny Woodoo.
I hope I haven't
cancelled your name, but just joined. Hope I didn't miss much. No, we're just going to finish off the chat. Great to see you. Please like and subscribe, and we'll get into the news. There is a bit of news tonight. We've got Tony Luxor. Hi, Dermot and Philip. Great game last night. We were balling 1 month of. Well, we were balling 1 month of coaching. Angie's the man. I've got my Tottenham back. Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it, Philip? I've said it as well. You've said it. We've got our Spurs back. And it feels really good, doesn't it?
It does. Do you know, I must tell you a story, though. I didn't tell you this, actually, from my experiences at the game on Sunday. There was two gentlemen sitting in front of me, right? Now, they weren't in the normal seat.
And they went,
No.
How are you doing?
No, nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. They were season ticket holders, right? Who had been moved from their normal seat because this wasn't a season ticket holder game, right? They were put about 3 rows in front of where they normally were, right? They spent the first 20 minutes of the match giving out hell about the Tottenham Hotspur ticketing office. They were going to get on and give them hell. They were going to do this, that, and the other. They spent they weren't watching the match. They were just complaining about the ticket office. And then I was saying, for God's sake, lads, you shut up and watch the game, you know. But anyway, the good part is they left for a drink 5 minutes before half time and came back 5 minutes into the second half. So they missed both of Harry Kane's first 2 goals. So that's good enough for you, lads.
Serves them fucking right.
That's what you come to a match with a bitch about the ticket office. Why don't bother, you know? Anyway, carry on. That was a new thing on the side.
Yeah, that was funny. That we've got SOF. I saw the player kit numbers are available on the team shop. Mysteriously, Maddison doesn't have a number yet. Is he waiting for number 10?
Oh, conspiracy theories abounding. Yeah, that's actually very interesting. Because let's face it, Maddison will be a 10 if Harry goes. Will be a 10.
Hog God 10. We've got Hog God saying the positive outweighed the negatives. We played 3 games in pre-season. For large parts, we outplayed Barca, the first team, and we fielded not the first. And we did, Philip. We rarely did. Yeah. The only bit that's got me was just Eric Dier and the lack of. I think what got me more was the lack of. I think the lack of trying, and the lack of. You know, it's a give Sanchez his due. He played brilliant last night. Yeah. He really had a good game and he tried. So, but Dier didn't try.
I would look on the positives. There's more positives than negatives, right? And the fact that I think if the team we played on Sunday or fielded on Sunday had started last night, we would have won that game comfortably.
Yeah. No? Oh yeah. Tequila says not kept 1 clean sheet all season. Well,
we haven't. We've now we're buying in the remedies of that. He arrived yesterday. One of the remedies.
We've got Destiny saying Richarlison always criticised for his lack of goals, but his work rate yesterday was incredible. Always running and going for loose balls. Yeah, it was. He gave away the ball a few times, and I don't think Andrew was happy about that. But in general, his work rate was very good yesterday. Kept the ball up. And now, if he was a player in La Liga or Serie A, Richarlison would be the best player in the league. You know, they were saying, look at this player, world class. But I think he played well yesterday. And look, though the likes of Paro, Reguilon, Eric Dier and Sanchez, you're right, we won't see them Sunday, Philip. But if we need them as backup, that does worry me.
Yeah, well, the thing we might need too many. We might not need too many of them as backup. I just feel if we can get another centre back in, and maybe then Longley as Eric Dier, if you like, then we'll be okay. But I just don't see anybody coming in for Eric Dier this season. I really don't.
Well, Philip, just a bit of news here. First one is Spurs could miss out on Tapsoba as United have him on the shortlist as a Maguire replacement. Now, Maguire's going to West Ham, so I believe.
Yeah.
Do we need to get in quick with this now? Are we still waiting for the Kane money?
We'll get in. We can buy the player now. We can buy him now and pay the down payment on him. We shouldn't have to wait for the Kane money. We really shouldn't, you know. But then again, if we're also looking at the other centre back we're looking at, I can never remember his name. The guy from Italy.
Yeah.
He seems to have taken over from Tapsoba as the main. For the life of me, I can't remember his name. It's an unusual name.
Is it from Torino?
Torino, yeah. Hang on, I get it here.
Oh, I read that earlier. Yeah, I did read that earlier. Look,
he's
for me,
Philip, as well, you know, he's a young player.
Look, for me, Philip, look, I think we had a chance to get Tapsoba. We didn't go in for it. Oh, here we go. Val said it's per Shom. I think per sure. I think
yeah, per
she's staying.
sure. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's it.
He's a right-footed centre back.
Mm.
So if we get him in, I mean, he'll be cheaper than Tapsoba. I think Tapsoba's asking price is probably the thing that's knocking Spurs back a bit.
Yeah, I think so. And Tequila says if that is true, you can rule Tappy out. Full stop. You can't compete with United for players. And look, Philip, I'm hearing rumours that the Qataris have won the bid for United. Now that hasn't been confirmed yet, by the way.
That's been going around for a while now.
Yeah, but I'm hearing that from a few Man United fans that look. We're hearing that. So look, look, if say the Qataris take over United, would that worry you? They might make a last ditch for Kane. They might say, "Do you know what?" And like we did report yesterday, they are looking at it. Do you know what would you do?
Are we going to have it done by Friday? They'll have to do it by Friday. The 48 hours to do it. If that's the case. You know, can you see the bid being finalised in 48 hours? The speed the Glazers look at it. We look if it's done by this end of the season. So, you know, I don't think Eric or Daniel Levy will sell to Manchester United. I really don't. No. I think that would be a hanging offence for most Spurs fans if he did that. And let's face it, most of them would like to lynch him anyway. So, you know, that's another reason to do it.
But just one question, then we'll move on, Philip. Do you think with the news going very quiet, there's been no news today about Harry Kane. Do you feel there's something rumbling along the way?
Well,
we're heading tomorrow.
What you mentioned earlier, Dermot, there were these non-disclosure agreements, and people in the press told not to say. That could be one of those blackouts we're in at the moment. So, if we can keep the Newsbeat quiet for 48 hours, then we're probably going to keep him. But I have a feeling it's going to Friday is not going to be a good day. I think that's the day it's going to hit, if it's going to hit at all.
Do you think so?
I think so, yeah. I think so. It can't go any later than that. So Friday is the deadline.
Now, Tottenham HOTSPUR Harry Kane, Tottenham handed potential transfer boosters, and Postecoglou explains the club's decision. He told reporters it wasn't about giving the guys a rest. It was that I wasn't going to give them game time. So there's no point in them traveling here. They will train tomorrow. They'll train hard. Do you know? Yeah. Do you think that was the right decision from Postecoglou to leave the rest of them guys at home? I know he bought
absolutely,
Sonny,
yeah,
and he bought some other players. But do you think it was right to leave the main players back at HOTSPUR away?
Yeah, he knew what team he wanted to field last night, and there's no point bringing guys out just putting them through a 4 or 5 hour flight. And bear in mind, Dermot, they only flew out yesterday morning, but they also flew back last night. So what they would have done last night was when they got home, the Stansted Airport, they got on the coach, they would have driven to HOTSPUR away, they would put up in the hotel there, and straight out to training this morning.
Yeah.
So there was no rest for the wicked there, but I absolutely agree with the fact that, okay, I'm sure the Barcelona fans would have loved to have seen Harry Kane out there, but tough. You know, he made entirely the right decision there.
Yeah. Look, look for me. I think Ange, we've said we're looking to bring in other defenders, but we need to move some players out. Philip, I think that is what's.
That's we could have told him that a long time ago. It looks like Rodon's the first one to go, so that's the start.
Yeah. I think your internet's a little bit shaky there, Philip.
No, it's showing up okay. I'll log in and come right back in again.
Yeah, you just froze there for a little bit. So I know you're fine now. No, you're fine now. You just froze there for a minute and I didn't.
Right.
No. It's been one of those days today. It really has.
Yeah. I've got 5 people downstairs using the internet. That's probably why it's not as good up here where I am. So,
I'd have a word with Musk if I was you. Huh? Have a word with Musk. And tell him to leave your satellite alone. Tell him to leave my satellite.
He's been okay now, I have to say. I've had no breakdowns since it went in. It's been very good. That's Starlink, by the way, there. Elon Musk.
Starlink, yeah.
It's internet.
Did you see him and the Facebook fella are going to have a fight on YouTube? They're going to stream their boxing match on YouTube.
Well, I hope the referee lets it go till they both kill each other.
Yeah. SOS says rumors going around we could move for Eze if Højbjerg goes. Now the Højbjerg deal I'm hearing is close for him leaving the club.
Yeah,
that's one thing that's on the pipeline. Tequila says I think he would, Philip, but only after adding another 30-50 million on the fee. Look, Look, SOF's putting the way we played last night without Kane. I think Ange spends the Kane money well. We will not miss him as much. I trust Ange's system. He will spread the goals around. This is another thing. Dave doesn't agree with this. Well, I think he does agree with it, but not to the extent of Mia and Mia's brother and a few other people saying Ange's system, everyone scores.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Philip? Or,
but
do you fully agree with that? Or do you think if we lose Kane, like Derville says to me, if we lose Kane, Tottenham are going down the pan?
No, absolutely not. Sorry, Derville, don't agree with you there. We won't, because I know Harry Kane is a huge part of Tottenham, but we'll get on fine without him. Okay, I think that thinking has probably been soured a bit or coloured a bit by the fact he scored 4 goals on Sunday. But there could have been 3 or 4 other scorers on the sheet only for the goalkeeper. We had 20 shots on target, and most of them weren't from Harry. The shots that Harry had, all bar one, hit the back of the net. So there was 15 other shots from other people. So the goals will be spread around, and I think that if the thing's gone again. Ange's system does not rely on one goal scorer. Now, if Harry Kane stays, great. If he doesn't, you'll probably find he'll score 25, 30 goals this season like he always does. But you'll find there'll be other players getting 10s and 15s.
Yeah. Mia says, saying my name in vain, LOL. Yes, my stance will remain the same. Ange keeps saying it. It's not about one person. It's about the team. And Philip, I got some breaking news on Harry Kane actually just coming into me. I've actually been told talks are ongoing for Kane. A £95 million bid for Bayern want an answer. However, as I was told on the phone, as I was told yesterday, hang on, sorry. No, I'm not going to sneeze. As I was told yesterday, excuse me. Sorry. As I was told yesterday, Kane is leaning towards now staying at Spurs, complete a U-turn from the player. So it's all up in the air, Philip.
That's what we've been suspecting, Dermot, isn't it? There's been the seismic shift here has not come from Bayern Munich. It's come from the Kane side of the house, and they're now having doubts about going there. Yeah.
Now, look, £95 million. Tequila says reject it.
Again, if they offered £95 million up front, he won't reject it. But if it's done in stages, he will reject it.
Yeah, he will. Tequila saying it's not enough. Mia saying, bless you, thank you. I think Kane goes, but 200% he scores bundles if he stays. He can't play in any system. It's absolute nonsense. He's the best striker in the world. He can play any system, needs a 9. And I agree with that. Harry Kane can play any system in the whole world, Philip.
Yeah. But if you noticed on Sunday, Dermot, he didn't drop as deep as he has been doing. He stayed, he came back a couple of times. He was more or less up around the 18-yard box where he can do the most damage. And I think that's what Ange told him to do.
By Ange.
Yeah, well, we've got Maddison now. We've got Maddison there to do what you were doing. So no need for 2 of them.
Yeah, Kia, Jazz says 95 million is nothing to be sneezed at. That's good.
That's true.
That's very good. Very good. Get you 1.5. Richie Mia said, if there was a U-turn by Kane, why would they keep pushing? And why they keep talking if Kane wants to stay?
But the Germans. Germans are pushy. Germans will not give up until the very end, and that's why they're going to keep at us. They may not have been told officially. They've just been, all they're getting is rumor. They've not been told officially.
I thought I'd get that one ahead. I thought I'd get that one ahead of you, Philip. It didn't work for them in 2 world wars, did it? To be fair.
Well, that's it. I mean, they started off great. I thought they were going to bulldoze everybody. Look what happened. Didn't work out for them. Same,
Philip. We're going to get into so much trouble one day.
As Charlie Kane will probably come out with a saying that we will fight them on the beaches, but he's not going to fight. Oh, dear, with apologies to anybody who knows the Second World War.
Yeah. And Jazz Vision, Kane is positioning himself to make his position known to all parties. When?
I think he's sitting on the fence at the minute.
He is.
What side does he fall over on?
Yeah. Kane will learn that with Mads he can play as a striker now.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we're saying. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
SOF says, if I'm Levy, I put a contract in front of him. If he signs, he stays. If he refuses, accept Bayern's offer. And look, we've said this before, Philip. We've said it back in July. There was a contract, a 4-year contract put in front of Harry Kane, $400,000 a week. That contract is still there. All he has to do is sign it.
But there's rumours now, Dermot, that the contract is being amended, or they're giving him various variants of it. You know, like a shorter term contract, or the various differences, and it's all been done to keep him happy. Like he may be now asked to sign a shorter contract, or he might be asked to give a longer contract on more money. There's lots of things happening in the background that we don't know about yet. And I think the fact that he's now having doubts, I think that Levy has altered the terms a wee bit, and they might be more suitable to Harry. But we don't know. We just don't know.
No. Look, Bayern do not like to accept defeat in the transfer market. No, they don't. Bayern Munich are one of them clubs, Philip. They get what they want, and they're not used to not getting the wrong way. Maybe now it's time
somebody stood up to them. Maybe it's time somebody stood up to them.
Well, look, I give Levy his credit. He's done it again. That man's got balls of steel. He really does. Bayern are pushing because they are desperate and beginning to realise they've been had. Yeah,
they've been levied. They've been levied.
They will learn to, and they will learn to love it as well. He says, Val says, get Basel 40 to sort them out.
Don't mention the war,
huh? David Clark, big up David Clark. Under this Ange system, Spurs will be stronger with Solomon and Perisic playing in the front tree than Son and Kulu. Look, I thought Perisic, I said last night we should keep Perisic. I thought he'd done very well last night, Philip, to be fair. Solomon again had another good game. Look, for me, Son and Kulu are the main starters for me. And then Perisic and Solomon are the backups to that. But look, for me, we've got a fantastic front line and we've got a fantastic midfield. If we can get another central defender in, I think we've got a team to be... I stand by, Philip, and I will tomorrow night in our Premier League preview show. I've said Tottenham can finish in the top 2 this season, and I'm standing by that. I am standing by that Tottenham can finish.
I'd be optimistic. I wouldn't be quite that optimistic this season.
I'm deluded anyway.
Open to it next season. No. I think we'll probably finish top 5, but I think it's next season is going to be the one we're going to surprise. We're going to surprise people this season. But I think next season we could actually do a Leicester on them.
Like that. Mia says, as 40 says, don't mention the war, mister. Jazz Fusion, the fans ain't the parties. No, that's true. As the web says, too many factors could happen during the season. We could pick up injuries to key players, miss out in Europe. Kane joins a Premier League rival.
That could always happen.
Brian McGuire says Kane will leave. We've got Gary Beggs. Quick question: why do supporters go? It's not enough, regardless of defeat. If it don't go in our pockets, and 90% of fans say Levy don't put it back in the team anyway. Untrue that. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying here.
But I think we don't want to be accused of letting a player go for less than his value. I mean, let's face it. Look, if Declan Rice is worth 105 million, Harry Kane's worth 200 million. Let's face it.
Yeah.
So the Bayern have to pay Arsenal had to pay the ridiculous asking price that West Ham put on to get the player. If Bayern Munich want to do, they're going to have to up their ante and pay over the odds even to get Harry Kane.
Yeah, just to ask you a question here, Philip. Has this been a good pre-season for Ange?
Yeah, I think it has actually. He's got. Well, I mean, it's been a good pre-season for the players because they've gone from a team that we had no hope for 2 months ago. We were wondering where the hell was going to happen, who was going to take us over, and we've now seen in the evidence of the 3 or 4 matches that we've played, the type of football has been completely turned on its head. We are now playing football the Tottenham way, attacking football, pressing, not allowing the opposition to get a hold of the impetus in the match. Okay, we lost last night, second team against Barcelona, fair enough. We lost to West Ham when we should never have done. But the Shakhtar Donetsk game told me a lot. I've never in all the games I've been to at the stadium, and they've all been league games mostly. I hadn't seen a Spurs team snapping into the tackle like the way they did in a friendly match. And if they do that in a friendly, what are they going to do when they get Brentford on Sunday? You know, it's been a good pre-season. Okay, the missing out the game in Bangkok was a bit of a balls up, really, because we could have done with that extra 90 minutes to get into the legs of the players. And they should have arranged another pre-season when they came home. But other than that, the players seem to love Ange. He seems to be getting the best out of players that maybe we'd given up on. Sanchez, maybe. You know, you just don't know. And I think it's been good. It's been very good.
I've got news on Sanchez. The news I've got here, Philip, is an agreement complete between Tottenham Hotspur and Leeds United for Joe Rodon. The centre back joins Leeds United on loan until the end of the season. And Spurs hope to find solutions also for Tanganga and Davinson Sanchez in the next days or weeks ahead of the transfer window. So, look, them players could be going out.
Yeah. And who's the one that's left? Who's the one that's left?
Eric Dier. Dier.
I told you that would happen. Those three guys will go, I've no doubt. And Eric Dier will be the one that's left. But
I am sorry.
He'll be in a position where he will not get playing much. So don't worry about it. I don't care if he's at the team as long as he's not playing.
For all that is holy white, I don't know. I just really just don't like.
But if you were a football man, if you were a manager of a team, would you buy Eric Dier? Would you? If you were a manager of, say, Bournemouth, would you buy Eric Dier for 20 million?
If I was blind drunk and completely out of it and didn't know what I was doing, yeah, I would. If I was sober,
okay, no, but you're not Mikel Arteta now. We're not talking about Arteta here, right? No, but you know what I'm saying. Like there other managers aren't blind; they can see what Dier's like, and that's why his pride wouldn't allow him to go to a championship side. But I can guarantee there'll be very few premierships, if any, that are going to come in for him because they've seen the way he's been playing.
Column says it doesn't make him a 200 million player. You have to factor in his age and the contract length.
I was speaking generally there, but I just still think Arsenal will have their pants pulled down by West Ham.
Big up. Speaking Spurs, I think that's Josh. Big up, Josh. He says, "No way on God's green earth is Harry Kane worth 200 million."
But I was speaking figuratively. If such and such is worth 100, he's worth 200.
Yeah. Tequila says, I would say Kane is in the top 3 strikers in the world. 150, 200 million sounds right in today's market. Maybe 150 because of age. Look, we know, look, Kane's market value is 80 million, Philip. So it's not, that is so. If you get 95,
but the market value is not taking into there's some factors it doesn't take into consideration, and Daniel Levy's milking that to the extremity, to the last nth degree.
Yeah, big up to Neil Shafton. Levy is just what's that word?
Menschlichkeit,
which is
Yiddish for the man who was. Natchez, which means pride. Okay, fair enough.
Big up.
Yeah.
Dier is Levy's pet. Hot God's saying Dier is a championship. No, he's League One or League Two. Val's saying maybe Levy and Kane are playing a chess game using Bayern to try and checkmate each other.
There's something going on. On.
I just want to say big up to Top Forever. He said, hi, Domo and Phil. Big up, Ryan. Hope you're doing well, sir. Now, Philip, look, and, few more questions, then we'll go through a bit more news, and then we'll end off there. Do we need one more centre-back and full-back in the door?
One more centre-back, yes. Full-back, not so. I'm not so worried about the full-back situation now, because on the right, we've got Porro, and we've got... Oh, yeah. Why are you worried about it?
I am, because if anything happens to Porro, or anything happens to Destiny or Porro's not a fullback, Philip. Porro's more of a winger. Porro's defending is shocking. And he was caught out last night, left, right, centre. So he's more of a winger. So I do think we need another fullback in.
No, I really do. I think the centre backs is still a priority, though.
Oh yeah, we will. But as Ange says, we need to sell before we can get one in. So, do you think that will be done before the end of the window, or do you think that be done? Do you think by the end of the window we'll have what we want in?
Well, I would hope the centre back situation will be sorted out inside the next week or two. I don't want to go right to the end of the window. We've got 3 weeks left now, I think, roughly. So I think get the centre back in, and as you say, okay, I'll bow down to your knowledge about the fullback, about Porro not being a fullback. But then again, who are we going to get? Who's actually available? We're going to go down lower league and get someone that's a little gem from the Championship or something like that, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
And we've got this Ashley Phillips guy as a fallback centre back if we don't get anybody in. You know, we've got Longley still wants to come back. He does not want to go to Saudi Arabia. So there's a lot to run there, I think, before the centre back thing is actually finalised.
Caption grammar. I like that caption grammar. Tottenham can play right back, and Dier has in the past. Face. Oh yeah, I know what he means. But his tongue out.
Yeah.
Porro is faster than Sanchez, but even worse as a defender, if that is possible. Yeah, I saw it last night. He really is. David Clark says, "This is the last time I'm going to say this. At no time has Daniel Levy announced the exact price he wants for Harry Kane, to Bayern Munich, or anybody else."
Yeah, but obviously, whatever Bayern's offering is not enough to meet his set price.
Tequila said, Mapai and Haaland are both worth 200 million. I would say Kane is up there with them. He's just much older, and that's true. Now, Philip, very quickly, it is the draw for the League Cup tonight. After the game tonight, I forget who's playing. Chelsea and Tottenham are in the round 2 draw because we're not in Europe.
Yeah.
Nice easy draw. Do you hope for tonight, Philip? We'll be able to tell people who we get tomorrow, but are you hoping for an easy draw? Colchester United away.
We'll probably get Chelsea away. No, in our luck.
Yeah.
It's regionalised, isn't it? It's southern and northern at the moment. It's not. We can't end up playing teams in the north of England. It's southern and northern. So we'll take Southend United or someone like that, or not Southend. We get someone like Barnet or Forest Green or someone like that. It'd be nice for them to get a big team coming.
Yeah. Daniel Levy's perfect Tottenham gift, Scott Munn's appearance, and Postecoglou's Dombele claim. Football London has spotted Munn chatting with on away to Postecoglou as Aussie's duo left the stadium in Barcelona on Monday night, just as he was noticed in Perth, Singapore this summer on the club's summer tour. He has not exactly been Scott Munn on the cover in these attempts to fly beneath the radar as he prepares for his official live start to live Spurs, whenever that may eventually be to be agreed with his former employers. Now, Philip, for what I've understand is City Group haven't given them the thing to go, and I think that's where the hold up is. But
that's crazy. He was appointed 4 or 5 months ago, and what gets me, City Group or a banking group, right? Now, gardening leave is normally given to somebody who wants to take up a job in the same industry, so that you don't go away spilling the beans and giving them state secrets about your previous company. Now, how they can class Tottenham Hotspur as having anything to do with City Group is quite beyond me. So I cannot even think of a reason why they've got him on gardening leave. But he's obviously putting 2 fingers up to them by going off on our tours, you know.
And this is the last bit of news, Philip. As of Wednesday morning, Tottenham have yet to file anything with Companies House to suggest they had drawn the remaining 50 million capital increase from the owners in it yet at the time when transfer plans were put together. Are you surprised we haven't drawn that 50 million yet, Philip, or do you think they're never going to draw that 50 million?
No, it may well be. It could well come in useful in the next couple of weeks. So watch this space and see. If they haven't spent it, it's still there. So, you know, it could be needed if we want to go and be realistically bullish in the transfer market and pay the odds, pay the money to get decent players in, like Tapsoba or whatever. You know.
Colin says very quickly, you got Rob for Richie. I understand where you're coming from, but clubs are greedy and will overprice players beyond their value.
Yeah,
that's
true.
So true.
Yeah,
now, Mr. Brady, we're going to leave it there because I know you've got guests, so you need to venture off and speak to your Chelsea fan and just tell them that they're going to get relegated due to being up to because they're being charged by the Premier League are looking into.
I saw that, but they've got them again, and this time it might stick. It might stick.
Yeah, it might stick. Philip, tomorrow we're back with Newsbeat, but tomorrow at 9 we've got a little special show coming up, haven't we? And I'm looking forward to this. We're doing tomorrow night the preview of the Premier League, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to ask where Spurs are going to finish, who's going to win the cups, who's going to be relegated, and who's going to finish in Europe. We've got myself. I think Josh is coming on from Speaking Spurs. I think Jacob's going to come on from United Spurs of America, and Mia's going to come on as well. And I don't know if Jack or Dave are going to pop on. I will get sure of that. Friday, we're back with the podcast, Philip, aren't we? With a normal thing. Saturday, we're doing the pre-match, our first pre-match show of the new season within the debate show. And then Sunday, we have a new scoreboard, a new whole system we're going to use for the watch along on Sunday. Me and Philip are so looking forward to using it. We can't wait to show it off. So we're looking forward to that. And then on Monday, Philip, we are doing the Premier League review, you, me, and Mia, where Newsbeat gets taken over.
The inquest.
Yeah, and where we three of us will pick our Premier League team of the week. That's going to be fun. And we'll go through all the results. And
no
of course, no Arsenal. No, look, it depends. But anyway, and if you haven't, please, she's very close to 900 now. Come on, let's get Mia to 900 before she. Let's get Mia to 900 before the end of the evening. Get everyone over to Spurs between the lines. Sorry, thank you so much, Philip, for taking over today and doing what you did. I'm sorry I wasn't here to start off with. But yeah, hopefully I can get the green screen working fine for tomorrow. I think I can work through the chinks. I've got to bring the PC back to have it rechecked tomorrow, and if that goes okay, well, all systems go. So listen, thank you all for watching. We're back tomorrow at 4. Any breaking news, we'll be back tonight. I think Philip's out. Are you seeing Tom Jones tonight?
Don't mention it. I am actually,
yeah. See the 70. You are a sex symbol for the over 70s and 80s, Mr. Brady, and we all know you are. What's Fred up to today, Philip? What do you think Fred's up to today?
Oh God, what's he doing? He's Eric Dier when he's told he's been transferred to Accrington Stanley.
That never gets old, that video. I swear to God, it never gets old. Mia, you're a lovely mess. She said, what's new?
Yeah.
We're sorry. It was a bit sort of late today. We usually run at 4. I know we're late. But look, we're back tomorrow on normal time 4, and then 9 o'clock tomorrow night, we're on with the Premier League review. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. Come on, you Spurs. In the big Andrew trust.